Samuel Prather here, founder of Go Music and Reason User since 2003. I wanted to follow up on my previous video with a little bit more information about how to use the groove of an analog instrument that you recorded to help you make content for your Reason drum kit's performance. All right, let's dig right into it. So I have my file here that we made in the last one, and check that out if you haven't already. It's pretty cool and will help you understand this one. I have this bass loop that I made. I have a basic drum groove that I made. So in the last video, I showed you how to take the groove from the bass that we recorded and use it on the kick drum to kind of lock in with the bass so that they all feel like they're working together. Well, in this one, what I want to show you some different ways to use that same information. So let's say we wanted to have a drum solo. What I'm going to do is move this stuff out of the way. Let me take the groove again. I'm going to bounce audio clips to MIDI. I'm going to apply a quantize to it, 90% to the nearest 16th note. And the reason I want to do that is because I'm fine with looseness kind of being in my bass or my guitar parts, but I really want my drums to be rock solid. All right, another shameless plug, I have a video that talks about using voicing, which is just moving your drum occurrences to different parts of the drum kit. So the same information, but just put in a different part of the drum kit to make it sound different. So let's say that we were trying to take a drum solo with this. I'm gonna start with the information from the groove and build on it in a couple subtle ways using voicing, dynamics, and filling in the space with smaller subdivisions. Generally speaking, from my days studying jazz drums, I would put the shorter notes on the snare or one of the surfaces up top and the longer stuff on the bass drum. But that's something that's not necessary across all genres, but it is something that kind of informs some of the decisions I make. Now what I'm going to do to help keep things together is I'm going to take that hi-hat pattern, copy it, and I'm going to put it on the hi-hat foot instead of with a stick. All right, and so we're going to find that in that second group of hi-hat stuff all the way up between C3 and C4, not down with the regular general MIDI hi-hat stuff that's lower down. You get this. Okay, so that's not bad as a start for a solo. So I'm just going to copy what we have and build on that by adding a couple variations with voicing. So I'm going to take some of the big accents and double them. All right, so let's turn it up a notch. I'm going to copy this pattern, and this time I'm going to add some grace notes. So I'm going to start by adding some 16th notes first on this pass, and then maybe the next pass we'll get to some 16th note triplets, which are even faster. These are going to help kind of camouflage the theme and also add just some more width to everything. All right, so this is going to be the last one that I'm going to do. Our drummer's really going to go nuts on this one. This is going to be the most intense. I'm going to switch my grid to 1/16th note triplet, which is even faster than a 16th note, and that's what I'm going to use to decorate. Okay, so what I did was I kept all the same information and I just added in 16th note triplets strategically. Now, the main guiding kind of thing that I did in terms of velocity was make sure that I was accenting up beats because those are much more interesting. and I keep the downbeats just to keep the time. What that means for 16th note triplets is pretty much every third one. We're gonna play 2 bars of just the groove, and then we're gonna let the drummer solo based on those notes that we took off of the bass groove. And when the drum solo is finished, we're gonna crash and go right back to the groove. It's not perfect, but at the same time, it's definitely better than I think a lot of people would expect programmed drums to sound if we only had 10 minutes to program. So the best part about this is that it's in reason. So anything that you don't like or want to change, you can change at any point in the process. So if you know that you want a drum solo to be there for 4 bars, it'll be there for 4 bars, and you can switch it out if you don't want to, or you can record real drums later. It's all up to you and what your production needs. I'm Samuel Prather. Hopefully I gave you a reason to create.